So let me elaborate on this and apologize if the audio's off. No, these crusties, they're not important enough to really, at least for this video, they're not important enough to speak on for me to actually be at a computer or some place with better audio. So I'm in my car right now doing this video because I gotta let the world know why black men of my ilk make videos about these crusties. I'll call them crusties and call them BWs, whatever you want. I don't respect them enough to call them BWs. I don't think they deserve the title of woman in general. And I'm not a simp, but I just don't think they deserve that title. And I'm black, but I don't like to make it known that they're black too because we're completely different. We don't have nothing in common but skin color. So I just call them crusties because they create the term dusty, but it's not possible for me to be dusty when literally my taxes pay your living. You get food, you get your EBT cards, you get everything you have off other people's tax money. Most of you do. I know not all of you do. Some of you, like 1% of you, actually have careers that aren't in retail or government. But the rest of you pretty much live off other people and you live off the government. You live off other people's tax money. But you have the audacity to call someone crusty because that's the only man you dealt with because that was what your father was. For most of these bitches are fatherless. So that's why I call him Crusty, because if it's a Dusty, Dusty is at the top, there has to be something lower than Dusty. And so the only thing that can be lower than Dusty is Crusty. And then you got the Simps who worship them. And they take their terms and call people Dusty. Like the B1s, whatever they want to call themselves. No, that's just debris. That's debris. That can't even be crust. It can't even be dust. Because you taking orders from the crusty. So you're just debris. That's what the fuck you are. But let's get into the video. So people ask me, and people say, and people speak on black men a lot, ask, why do black men speak on BWs? Well, these crusties always say, dating interracially will not make you white. It will not change your race. Which is true, it won't. So with that being said, these crusties will always be a topic of discussion. You can't get away from these crusties. You just can't. You just can't get away from these crusties. So it's better to acknowledge it. So in the future, a lot of black men won't feel entitled to certain things that these crusties are given. Black men need to understand that these crusties are a bunch of leeches who live off people. That's why you got these underdeveloped black men, like these men in their 40s and 50s, simping for these crusties, and then calling anyone out who doesn't worship them like gods a weak man or someone who's against them, pretty much. But one thing about these BWs too, another thing about these BWs, when they always speak, when they speak to the public, they always use black men as a scapegoat. Because black men don't really say nothing. But now a lot of black men are trying to speak up. Like, they're not going to be able to talk on black issues from their point of view no more. They're not going to be able to go and say, hey, this Asian beat me in a nail salon, or this Arab beat me in a store, and then come back and use black men as a scapegoat. Say, black men don't protect. No man should be protecting crusties like that. If you want to protect crusties like that, crusties who probably go home and watch Cynthia G or Crystal Crack Baby Swirls or people of their ilk, then maybe you should raise them to have a different mindset instead of I hate black men mindset and I worship other men of other races. And maybe things like that won't happen to them. And maybe you'll have more of a justification why someone should protect those type of people. Because right now they're not worthy of being protected by anyone. They're trash to the community. They're a liability, not an asset. They're not respected by society. They contribute to nothing in society but having a bunch of kids they can't take care of, reproducing simps, having self-hating daughters. When they get here in this world, they don't want to be here. All they do is cry about colorism and looking like ugly motherfuckers and blaming colorism as a reason why they look ugly. This is what they do. This is the culture they promote. They promote this culture to where if you're a black man who has some sort of standards, some sort of mindset to where you want to improve yourself and you don't care about these BW, you just want to improve black men who actually want to win and yourself, and not these simp black men, not do nothing with them. It's always, oh, you don't build, you don't do no resource. Well, a lot of black men are building with other races of women now, so we're having less issues. I haven't had issues that a lot of these black people have, and I don't surround myself from the trash of society, which are BWs, these degenerates. So we're always gonna be attached to BWs. The only thing we can do is vocalize how we feel about BWs and how we feel about a lot of these simps under these BWs in the community that they worship, the group of women that they worship. That's all we can do. And we can expose it. We can debunk the false stereotypes they push on black men. Another thing, now I talk about stereotypes. Third thing why black men of my ilk will expose BWs regardless, even if we don't live around them no more, even though we don't date them and never have. These Crusties always speak on black men. They always speak on black men in interracial dating because they know that we are the ones that reject them. We are the ones that don't want them. That's why they're crying all day about colorism, crying all day about who black men are with, making video after video about who black men are with. So this is another reason why a lot of black men make videos on these Crusties. Now I got a lot of reasons why. When you push a false narrative about black men, then of course black men are going to respond with facts, which is what my video and my content does. That's why nobody can debunk the videos I do in my content. A lot of these other black men who post facts about black women being least desired, about BWs being single moms, about 50% of black men in my age range not having any children. So it's not possible to push the narrative that black men are deadbeat fathers of all races of women when you're deadbeat mothers and single moms of all races of men, including the white men that you claim that you date you won't be a deadbeat mother no more. Including black men that you claim are going to leave other races of women as single moms when that's not true at all if you compare it to other races of men. But they want to push this false narrative with no stats or facts to back it up. That's another reason why black men of my ilk will call out these Crusties. You cannot get away from these Crusties. Now, let me tell you something about real life, though. Let me tell you something about real life. I avoid these Crusties. I don't live next to these Crusties no more. I mean, I just walked inside a gas station the other day to get some fill up some gas in my tank. And I seen this little Crusty, her like old ass broken down car. You know, she looked like a Crusty Cynthia follower, like a Cynthia G follower. But I walked into the grocery store, and as I was walking in, I opened the door, and this Crusty thought I was gonna hold the door open for her. She thought I was gonna hold the door open for her. Like I would hold the door open for a non-BW who I respect, but I don't respect you Crusties. I don't respect these Crusties. So I opened the door, and this Crusty came out like I was gonna hold the door open for her. So I just walked right past her, and she said, "Thank you." You know, she was kind of like embarrassed and looking stupid at the same time because she thought I was gonna hold the door open for her. But this is the point. This is the point I'm making right now. Is these Crusties are so entitled to this stuff because these simps, they're so entitled they think they can just do that to any black man. Like any black man not supposed to have standards. But they understand, like where I'm from, black men, they understand black men who have something going for them are gonna have standards. But they think I'm gonna hold the door open for her. Is she retarded? But this is the entitlement that these Crusties have. This is why they feel so comfortable come online and run their mouth about black men, because they know a lot of black simps are still here. They're gonna apologize. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm in my 40s and I fucked up my whole life. So all black men should take responsibility for stuff they have nothing to do with, and we should worship black women. They know most black men in my age range and most black men after me are not gonna think like that, and that's why they're angry and bitter. All right. But yeah, these are just the little reasons why I make videos about these Crusties. I mean, I got more reasons. This was just a little rant. I don't really care about this video. I just had to rant off real quick about these Crusties, but that's all I gotta say. There's nothing more to say. Say less.